Well, during the COVID lockdown, as you know, many people in our society who were in low-paid and underappreciated jobs were suddenly classified as key workers. And among them, of course, were the care workers. And people would get out on a Thursday and clap for the nurses and all those caring for the sick. And it was good to see that change in our society and that appreciation. And of course, what happened as well was that COVID showed up the great weakness in the whole system and how vulnerable and fragile that system was. Now, I thought during COVID, my heart kind of said to me, this is a significant shift in the whole attitude of society. And once COVID is over, that shift will show itself in a complete change in how we do things. My heart told me that, and my head said, no, once we're out of COVID, it will just be back to the way things were before. And sadly, it was my head that won out in that. There wasn't that significant shift or that change. If you look back to the Second World War, when people came out of the war, they were determined that life was going to be different, the society was going to be different. They may have fought Hitler and conquered the Nazis, but they wanted a different world, a different society. And we see that in the setting up of significant things like the National Health Service and the building of homes, taking people out of the slums and giving people homes. There's the determination to build a different society. Sadly, when we came out of COVID, that determination wasn't there. And everything slotted back into the way it was before. And those key workers, all they got for their reward was that clap on a Thursday night. So it didn't really surprise me then that the great unrest that has been there since then, people going on strike for wages and so on, and the unrest throughout the whole of society, because these people in these low-paid jobs that suddenly were getting that status as key workers, it was all, just a fallacy. You're asked to work more and care more, and then when it's all over, you're just forgotten about. And if we don't show respect to those who carry out those caring roles in our society, then we're not showing respect either to the people that they care for. And the people that they care for, and we were so anxious during COVID about those in our care homes, about the elderly, because those people are dear to us and precious to us. They're our grandparents or our parents, they're our friends or our neighbour, and we really care about those people. And their care was so important during COVID, and their care should be so important to us now, that we show disrespect to them and their human dignity by not showing respect to those who care for them. We can't run a system, penny pinching, trying to do it on the cheap. And that's what we've been doing up to now. And so much of the problems in the care service eventually come down to that. We're doing it on the cheap. So the whole system is overstretched, overburdened, and people are overworked. And they've been asked to do not a caring job, they've been asked to do tasks. Now you might, for instance, be helping someone, shower or wash, or might be helping someone with the bathroom, you might be helping someone to get to bed at night. Those are all individual tasks. But the care worker's role goes beyond carrying out individual tasks. It's about caring for the person you're looking after. And that involves a relationship between two people. And often you hear, you would hear stories of I remember one story of somebody complaining up in Aberdeen, I think it was, that their mother, had been 40 different people have been in seeing their mother, carrying out these different tasks. That's not proper care. We're dealing with people who we're bringing into, people who have been led independent lives, until suddenly they become dependent because of either old age or sickness. And these people have to retain their dignity. It's not just a whole question of strangers coming into their home to carry out a particular task for them. It's about building up that relationship. You're caring for that individual person. And we don't show that respect if we break it down into all those individual tasks and think that that's okay. We sent somebody to go and put that person to bed, and therefore we've done that, and we can tick that box. I mean, I remember one lady whom I knew, and she was confined to a wheelchair. She'd lost both her legs, and the carers she stayed at home, and the carers used to come and put her to bed. But they could come at the back of 5 o'clock at night and put her to bed. Now, that's not treating somebody with dignity, not the care workers' fault, because they've got to get around, they're overworked, they've got to get all these people in, and so they can't come around at a reasonable time. She used to get put to bed sometimes at 5 o'clock. I said to her, "What do you do?" She says, "Once they've gone, I get my husband and we struggle and I get back out of bed again." And of course, neither she or her husband should be doing that, because they were both beyond it, but that's what she would do. And that's not treating people with the dignity that they respect. It's not seeing that this is a caring profession. You're caring for people and you're respecting their human dignity. And that is reflected, of course, in the fact that we don't pay enough for the care workers. We don't give them a proper wage. And therefore, their quality of life is therefore badly affected. I've known people who, husband and wife, working in the care sector, and they pass themselves like ships in the night. That is no way for a family relationship, husband and wife, or a family. That's no way. Yet those demands are on them, working long shifts because they're so poorly paid. So we're not treating them with any dignity or respect. So I know we're going to sign something saying you should get £12 an hour. That's not really the point. I'm not one to judge what sum of money, whether it should be £12 or £15. What I know is, at the moment, they're not getting enough. But it's not about the pay. It's about a whole change in our society to judge what is really important. And during COVID, we saw what was really important. And we've lost that now because society has just gone back to the way it was before. Boris Johnson's oven-ready package for the care sector, it still hasn't got into the oven yet. We still have not given the priority to this sector that is required. And as I say, these people that are cared for are precious to us, and they're dear to us because they're our family members or they're our friends. And we have to treat them with dignity and give them the care they need when they get to that stage of life that they need it. And the only way to do that is to treat the care workers also with the same dignity and respect. So we need a whole change in our society. We're not a poor society, we're not a poor country. There is plenty of money in the country. We have to say, how do we want to spend that country? How do we want to spend that money? We made fundamental changes in the health sector after the Second World War that have made a vast difference. People are now living longer. But what we have to now guarantee now is a change in our society to see that people not only live longer, but they have a good quality of life as well in their old age, in their time of need. So thank you very much.